Silvio, arriva bene. A big day for the Alinghi Red Bull team. I heard in your speech you mentioned it was a milestone moment. You talked about looking at the tops of mountains. Tell us how you're feeling right now.
Well, it's been an exceptional day and we all feel very happy, and to some extent, a bit of a relief after a long journey to build this boat, to design and build it. And now, of course, a new chapter as always. So we already went out for a first little spin in the harbor, and our mind is already to the next chapter, of course. But yes, a good day, yes.
How would you describe this boat to somebody who hasn't seen it? Is it a radical boat? Is it a conservative boat? Is it somewhere in between?
The plan was not for conservative. The plan was to, explore further this beautiful AC75 rule. And I'd say it's certainly not on the conservative side, yeah.
We've seen some of the other teams launch boats with legacy foils and possibly even a legacy spar. Can we just confirm everything we see today is brand new?
Not everything, but most of it, yes. And every team have their own plans. For us as a new team, we did not have a previous America's Cup campaign with this boat, so of course for us it's our own little, set of things, and we have to make the most out of it and balancing between learning and building and all that. So yeah, but most of it is new, not everything.
Can I just be pedantic, say the foils are your new foils?
The four wings, yes.
Yeah, the foil wings, okay.
Yes.
Now,
well, yes, yeah, because the previous ones, on boat zero were certainly different.
Very different to that. The other big difference that everybody's been talking about is the foredeck of this boat, the bumps. I'm not sure what to call them. The speed bumps. Let's try that.
The bulges. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, it's one of the features, of the boat. We try to take every part of the boat and go through it in depth, and yeah, that's our interpretation of it. So let's see how it goes. There's
been lots of talk about Venturi effect, and somebody also said to me, but there's a minimum volume for the bow, and they need to fill it out. Who's on the right track?
I'll let you figure that one out. But like everything, there are many ways to look at things. The rule is quite strict, and that's a component. But as we learned over the past campaign, aerodynamics is also a factor in these yachts. So yeah.
We also see a perspex or some sort of clear covering the front pod. Who are we protecting there? The flight controller or the helmsman?
Well, I guess you'll figure out pretty soon, but that's our flight controller, yeah, and trimmer, yeah.
I guess they have a lot of electronics to work with. Is the thinking as well as the aerodynamics, just to give them some protection from that?
Yeah, and try to see if that works and if they get some visibility as well, So yeah, it's a bit of an experiment in a way, but yes, that's a little bit the thinking, a mix of protection as well as transparency to be able to see through and see if it works.
Fantastic. That's our 3 minutes, but congratulations from us in the Recon team.
Okay, thank you very much. Much appreciated.
La barca di Alinghi per la Coppa 2024, con una puntualità, devo dire, svizzera. Effettivamente Alinghi Red Bull Racing ha presentato la sua barca per la Coppa, cioè, con la quale spera di arrivare a correre la Coppa America 2024. Ricordiamo che è l'unico scafo che i team possono produrre, quindi c'è soltanto questa chance, quindi se sbagli questo disegno in effetti non puoi recuperare se non provando a modificarlo, ma insomma le possibilità di modifica sono abbastanza ridotte. Non ci aspettavamo forse da Alinghi lo scafo più rivoluzionario di tutti. Effettivamente non lo è. È una barca che a tutti gli effetti sembra l'evoluzione della barca 2 di Team New Zealand, quindi della barca che ha vinto giustamente l'ultima Coppa America, che ha stravinto, si può dire alla fine, l'ultima Coppa America. Quindi diciamo che da questo punto di vista non vediamo delle novità incredibili. Sicuramente si parte da una sezione abbastanza a V della parte di prua che poi va a traslare verso una superficie completamente piatta, diciamo parallela al pelo d'acqua, diciamo così, della parte poppiera. Quindi diciamo che questo tipo di forma è molto molto simile a quello di Team New Zealand. Quello che invece cambia abbastanza, pur avendo un concetto abbastanza simile, ma cambia abbastanza soprattutto nelle proporzioni, è il bustle, cioè quindi la chiglia, perché qua abbiamo una chiglia molto molto profonda che si trascina a questa grande profondità fino a poppa e dalla volumetria nettamente più importante rispetto a quella di Team New Zealand. Quindi abbiamo questa U che è decisamente più grande, quindi questa sezione a U decisamente più grande della chiglia, che promette di poter dare un certo sostegno alla barca durante la fase di decollo, un sostegno diciamo sicuramente più marcato di quello che non fosse dato a Team New Zealand nelle medesime condizioni. Ecco, quindi questo diciamo un qualcosa pensato apparentemente per le condizioni di Barcellona, dove il fatto di dover decollare potrebbe essere diciamo uno dei problemi. Ecco. Chiaramente questa chiglia potrebbe anche in certe condizioni di onda potrebbe anche essere di grande aiuto, sicuramente, perché anche in questo caso è più voluminosa, quindi potrebbe dare più sostegno nel momento in cui la barca dovesse fare dei touch and go, insomma dovesse fare dei tocchi nell'acqua. Chiaramente il lato negativo di questa maggiore volumetria è il fatto che lo shock eventualmente trasmesso da questa chiglia più voluminosa sarebbe superiore, quindi chiaramente dove diciamo con una conduzione precisa una New Zealand che tocca praticamente quasi non sente il tocco con l'acqua, in questo caso il tocco lo senti e come, quindi insomma bisogna capire quali sono i vantaggi e gli svantaggi. Sicuramente sono state simulate queste cose. Quello che cambia abbastanza, quindi se vogliamo vedere le differenze, cambia abbastanza la parte prodiera. Non abbiamo una grande volumetria della parte più alta della prua. Questo sicuramente è una buona differenza rispetto a Team New Zealand. C'è un elemento idrodinamico, direi, che è molto interessante da analizzare, forse anche aerodinamico, ma questo mi devo far aiutare dai miei amici ingegneri, che ricorda un elemento idrodinamico da motoscafo, devo dire soprattutto, quindi questo mi devo far aiutare. Viceversa, la cosa che appare evidente, anche se non ci sono delle foto che saranno molto interessanti da vedere, non ci sono delle foto vere e proprie della parte del ponte, quindi della coperta, sicuramente lo spazio dedicato su entrambi i lati all'equipaggio va sostanzialmente ad esaurirsi completamente verso poppa. La poppa è proprio assolutamente filiforme, il bordo, chiamiamolo il bordo libero della poppa a livello della poppa è praticamente inesistente. Sostanzialmente si direbbe che lo spazio dedicato all'equipaggio vada a chiudersi a goccia, come se si chiudesse in un profilo sottilissimo, se la sezione di un'ala perpendicolare alla coperta, diciamo, questo sembrerebbe, insomma, questo sarà interessante da vedere. Sarà interessante vedere come Questo profilo, che però andrà analizzato, ripeto, molto meglio nel dettaglio, sarà interessante vedere come questo profilo si integrerà con il profilo della doppia randa in coperta. Bisogna vedere quanto queste cupole fatte a goccia saranno veramente fatte a goccia oppure no, oppure questa magari è soltanto una impressione vista dal basso, invece in realtà dall'alto la coperta potrebbe essere anche abbastanza diversa, potremmo scoprire delle cose che ora non vediamo. Più o meno questi sono i commenti a caldo dalle prime foto. Barca sicuramente che andrà analizzata meglio nei prossimi giorni, però insomma non abbiamo visto da parte degli svizzeri nulla di incredibile apparentemente. Il posizionamento degli arm è molto simile a quello di New Zealand, si direbbe, quindi sicuramente sullo spigolo vero e proprio tra la superficie verticale della fiancata, chiamiamola così, e la superficie sostanzialmente orizzontale bassa della carena, quindi questo arm sicuramente esattamente come nel caso di Team New Zealand, che infatti aveva fatto della sue regolazioni estreme uno dei suoi punti di forza maggiori. Va bene, ciao e buona giornata.
Rodney, had a day of testing for Alinghi Red Bull Racing after yesterday's launch. The boat went on the water, did some tow testing, you even tried some sails up. Was that a complete list? Did you tick everything off today?
Pretty much. We could have done one more jib, but the day was dragging on and the guys were confident they got enough information about the sizing of the first two jibs. So yeah, it wasn't quite the full list, but pretty much all of it.
What were your personal thoughts about seeing the boat on foils for the first time?
I think that was pretty exciting for everyone. No, it looked spectacular. Of course, the first takeoff was straight into the waves, so a little bit challenging, but managed to get it up, and probably a harder ride on the chase boat than it was on the yacht. So they look pretty comfortable there, and yeah, the feedback so far is good.
I was going to ask you the feedback from the sailors. They must be even more excited than you to get on the boat and get it foiling.
Yeah, well, and I think everyone's looking forward to the next day when hopefully we can actually sheet the sails on rather than just test them for size in the harbour.
Any problems during that foiling session? We did see one stop where we thought we saw somebody doing a steering wheel motion. Was there an issue with the steering a little bit?
No issues with the steering. The first stop was just to get the tech guys on board and just double check all of the systems after a short period, and then did it again down the other end before the tow back. So yeah, no real issues.
Is that towing ticked off now for the team?
Yeah, towing's done.
So next stage will be sailing. You tried some sails up today for size.
Yep.
Quite a long process, as we would imagine with the first time up. We think it was a new mainsail and maybe some legacy headsails. Are we right?
It's pretty accurate.
Okay. It took a while to get the main kind of locked in, but what was the feedback at the end of the day?
I think it all worked pretty well. Slightly different technique. Hooking up the main than we're used to, so a little bit of a new process for everyone to work out exactly who does what. So at the end of the day, the main went on well, and yeah, a little fiddling around with some strop lengths and bits and pieces, and then got into the jibs.
The main sheet system we were obviously very interested in. It looks like it's new. We're a new recon team to you, so we're not quite as familiar as what you've been using. Is it a totally new system?
No, actually it's the same system we had on Boat Zero, so it's exactly the same if you look back at the photos.
So tried and tested is what you've gone with. Will you stay with that system, do you think?
Yeah, the idea was to, the systems we could develop and on that boat and use and test up to the loads, then we will do that, and yeah, that's one of those pieces we'll stick with.
So next stage is to sail the boat. Could that be tomorrow?
Forecast not ideal for tomorrow, so we'll probably push it later in the week.
position is good.
Arno Sarafagis, first day of sailing in the new Alinghi Red Bull Racing AC75. Give us your first impressions.
Yeah, fantastic day today for the first sailing day. The boat builder, designer and the short team did a fantastic job to create this weapon that we have in our hand now, and it's the first feeling was above our expectation, to be honest, and I mean we're looking forward for the next sailing days. Yeah.
What was the mood like on board when you sheeted on for the first time, you're about to take off? It doesn't always go well, it's not a given, but it seemed to go pretty well from where we were sitting watching.
Yes, we did a few, we had a few system check before we actually could do the proper sailing, and the first time we say, okay, just let's try, we can build speed. It came actually pretty quick with the setup that we had today. And we just saw the boat speed coming up, and we say with Brian, just give it a go, and sheet on, and the boat came out. So it was really impressive, and I think we can learn even more to make it happen earlier. But I mean, today was a fantastic day.
First jibe in the boat was a foiling jibe. That's how we scored it.
Yeah, it's first manoeuvres. It's always tricky. It's probably not the best jibe ever, but I mean, it was as we expected. We did train a lot in the simulator as well, so the boat behaved pretty well. So I think it's just now game is on. Yeah.
I was going to ask you, you must have spent, I'm not going to ask you how many hours, but many hundreds of hours in the simulator sailing this design of boat. How much did it match up to your expectations?
About the two worlds, let's say, match up pretty nicely. We have the muscle memory of the sim, and so to jump on the boat is almost pretty easy for us. So because we spend so much hours, as you say. So, but now it's a real boat, and you need to be gentle, but try to push her even harder.
What are the characteristics of this boat compared with your last boat, your training boat, that make it so much more suitable for Barcelona, where it's been designed for?
Well, I think boat one is, compared to boat zero, is a different world. It's first generation, let's say it's third generation now. Even for Auckland, I think our new boat will have been way better. If you see Team New Zealand boat 2 was more looking like our one than boat 0. So I think it's just the development of it, and every little details and feature of this new boat are just better and more mature.
We saw somebody hanging or being hung over the side at one point when you stopped towards the end. Was there an issue?
No, not a massive issue. We just had a flap for that was coming loose. So instead of losing it, we just decide to hold Jack Taylor by the feet just to remove it instead of losing it or damage it and lose it in the water. Yeah.
A flap on the hull, not a flap on the foil?
No, a flap on the hull, yeah.
Okay, Arno, thanks for sharing all that with us.
Thank you very much. Thanks.